today. UFC 306 goes down this Saturday night, where in the main event, Sugar Sean O'Malley will step in the octagon to defend his bantamweight championship against Merab Dvalishvili. I'll take it. In the co-main event, we have Alexa Grasso making the attempt to defend her flyweight championship against Chevy Truck, Valentina Shevchenko. I'll take it. Then, what about this? What about Brian Ortega stepping in the octagon with Diego Lopez? How you feel about that? All of this and more on today's episode of Matter of Fact MMA. What's up? What's happening? Let's go. What's up, guys? We right back at it. We right back with it. It's your boy Matt, and we are here to go over UFC 306 as well as I'm gonna touch upon. I'm gonna get into. We gonna dive deep. Not really, but gonna cover a couple of fights from the previous Apex card where Sean Brady defeated Gilbert Burns. So let's start out with UFC Noche. UFC Noche is finally here, and we are about to get off into it. Now, I know that this card has gotten a lot of flack, a lot of people mad at Dana. Dana's been hyping this up as the biggest show of all time, yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, man, Dana can only do what he can do. And what I've seen in 2024, and I think the fans aren't really peeping this, they're not really seeing this, is, bro, the UFC, yeah, they can foot millions and millions of dollars if they want to a fighter to go out there and fight. But why do that when they don't really have to? Yeah, we all want it to be a fair world. Yeah, I love for YouTube to cut me a check for doing all these videos. You know what I'm saying? I ain't making a dime. But still, the world don't work like that. And if they can't get these fighters to agree to go in on a certain date, you know, at a certain amount of money, it is what it is, bro. Like I said, fighters have real lives. And I see MMA media always angry at Dana and everybody. And it's like, bro, you're just a loser fan. So you sit there and you're like, oh, Dana should have paid so-and-so to fight so-and-so. And they should have did this and did that. Why didn't they make this fight? And it's like, bro, once fighters start getting a little bit of money, a little bit of bread, a little bit of payola, they not studying, they not tripping on certain dates, certain events. They're just not really worried about it. It's not like the UFC's not trying to make this. If you ever watch a lot of interviews and stuff with fighters, you find out all of the backroom fights that the UFC tried to make, but fighters pull out. Fighters got real lives. They're not you MMA losers for certain .coms that just sit there and go off all day that your favorite matchups were made. Bro, they're getting married, they're having children, they're buying homes, they're traveling the world, all right? So a lot of times you can't make those fights. With that being said, let's enjoy what is on Noche. So let's start at the top of the card. We have Sugar Sean O'Malley stepping in the octagon with Merab Dvalishvili. Man, I got Sugar Sean, dude. I got Sugar Sean. Now, I've never really been the biggest Sugar Sean fan, but this is what I'll say about Sugar Sean. Time and time again, this homie has proven me wrong. So many fighters that I felt like were more skilled than Sean O'Malley or were tougher than Sean O'Malley, had that dog in them, Sean O'Malley goes out there and disposes of them. Wrestlers, I got that. Strikers, I got that. Guys with a humongous gas tank, I got that. Guys that can't be finished or knocked out, I got that. And he continues to go out there and win. Now, if this was the Merab from a couple of years ago, who was happy-go-lucky, you know, he's hanging out with Aljamain Sterling, you know, he's training with Sarah Longo, you know what I'm saying, Matt Serra and Longo. It's like, bro, That's a different character. But this Marab, he's on the internet. He doing skits. You know, he's working out with voluptuous women. You know what I'm talking about? If you've seen any of those videos he puts out, he got staff. He's hiding staff. He's showing staff. He got a cut on his eyelid already. You know what I'm saying? He's doing a lot of weird stuff. Now, part of me thinks maybe he's doing all this weird stuff to disarm Sean O'Malley and to make Sean O'Malley think he's going to go in there and wash him. But something seems a little bit off about Marab. You know what I'm saying? Marab's almost like he's getting a little superstarish on us. And I don't mean that necessarily in a good way. So, in my opinion, I always thought the way this fight would play out is Marab would just wrestle Sean O'Malley on the ground for 5 rounds and cruise to a decision. But I got to say, dude, the striking accuracy of Sean O'Malley and his ability, because of maybe his stature, because of his shenanigans online, the way he carries himself, the rainbow colored hair, whatever it might be, he sets a lot of traps for his opponents inside of the cage that frankly I feel like they fall for because they're literally thinking, I'm going to go in here and break this little colorful haired dude. And then they get in there and he lures them exactly where he wants them, and wham! They're sleeping on the ground or they've been rocked. And it's another 5 rounds of that. And so I got to go along with Sean O'Malley to go out there and get the win over Marab. Even though Marab should be able to wrestle him, should be able to hold him down, should be able to do that for 5 rounds. In my opinion, I think Sugar Sean O'Malley, with his accuracy, with his timing, with the traps that he set, I feel like he will catch Marab. And I kind of feel like he's going to knock Marab out. Just in my opinion. And I'm gonna put it to use on DraftKings. DraftKings, holla at me now. But bro, I got Sugar Sean. Let's move on. The co-main event. Women's Flyweight Championship of the World. Alexa Grasso goes in there with Valentina Shevchenko. So here's the thing about this one. First fight, I picked Valentina to win. Okay? Valentina makes a costly mistake. Alexa Grasso capitalizes and wins the Flyweight Championship. All right, smooth. The rematch, I picked Valentina to win. I feel like Valentina won their second fight. I'm not sure what was going on with the judges' scorecards. I'm not sure of any of that. But in my opinion, I feel like Valentina won the second fight. This is the trilogy. This is the third fight. The second fight was ruled a draw. Bro, I'm going to go along with Alexa Grasso on this one. I've been torn about this, but I'm going to go along with Alexa Grasso, and this is why I say that. Valentina is getting up there in age. And you have to think about the landscape, the time frame, and what was going on when she met Alexa Grasso the first time. When she met her the first time, you know, no disrespect to Joanna Jędrzejczyk, but Shevchenko was the boogie woman, and everyone was afraid of her. And she went out there, and she did work against Alexa Grasso, made a mistake, and lost. The aura about her, the invincibility about her, somewhat kind of dwindled away, right? Second fight, she looked really good against Alexa Grasso, and I feel like, again, that she should have won on the scorecards, but nevertheless, she did not. Now, it's been almost 2 years, 2.5 years almost. These two women have been entangled with each other, and I don't mean in a Will Smith kind of way, or Jada Pinkett, and it's like, bruh, she's getting older, dude. And these were prime fight years, latter in her career prime fight years that she could have been out there defending her title, but she hasn't. She's been traveling the world. Of course, she's been training. She's made some updates to her training, but still, it just doesn't something doesn't seem right, dude. Something doesn't seem right. And Alexa Grasso's a lot younger. Alexa Grasso is, I wouldn't say early in her career, but not as far along as Shevchenko. And I just think Shevchenko has been forced to sit out all of this time while she's squabbling over these title shots with Alexa Grasso. And I feel like this is somewhat Alexa is in her head, and she is in Shevchenko's head, because Shevchenko didn't even want to take this fight at the Sphere because it's Noche, and of course she's worried about the judging, and she's worried about the fan support and everything else of Alexa Grasso, which I don't feel like Shevchenko in the past ever would have cared. She would have scrapped wherever, judges or no judges. So we'll see, but I'm going to go along with Alexa Grasso to go out there and get the win. Next, at featherweight, we have Brian Ortega versus Diego Lopez. As I called it a few months ago, I'm going along with Diego Lopez. I think this dude has got the goods. He's definitely a contender in that weight class. He now has wins at 155 pounds. I'm going along with him. Frankly, I think Brian Ortega's brain dead. He's a good fighter, but there's something wrong with him mentally. I got Diego Lopez. Next, we have Daniel Zellhuber stepping in there against Esteban Rivabex. I'm going along with Daniel Zellhuber. He's got the reach advantage. The kid's going to be in front of his fans in Noche, at UFC Noche at the Sphere. I got him. Next, we have Ronaldo Rodriguez stepping in there with O'Day Osborne. O'Day Osborne, in my opinion, is not really that good. This is kind of a setup fight from what I see for Ronaldo to go out there and wax him and get the win in front of his fans. I got Ronaldo. Next, we have Irina Aldana stepping in there against Norma Dumont. Norma Dumont is a tough customer. She brings that dump, that truck, you know what I'm talking about? But I got to go along with Irina Aldana to go out there and get the win. In front of her people, in front of the Mexican people. I don't think she's lost much of a step. I just think she wasn't on that level with the champion. I'm going to go along with Irina to go out there and get the win. Then we have Manuel Torres stepping in there against Ignacio Bahamondes. I'm going along with Manuel Torres to go out there and get the win. I think he's just a little bit sharper on the feet. I think he's just a little bit better of a fighter overall. Next, we have Yasmin Uruguay stepping in there against Ketlin Souza. I got Yasmin Uruguay. I think she's got the goods in her weight class. I think she's going to definitely be a force in the division. She had one loss, little setback, but I think she's going to be there. Then we have Edgar Shirez going in there against Joshua Van. I got Edgar Shirez. I think he's going to put on a show. And finally, the opening fight of the night, we have everybody's favorite youngster in the UFC, Raul Rosas Jr., Captain Chin himself, stepping in there against Ari Lang. Man, I got Raul Rosas Jr. So there it is. That is UFC Noche, as I spoke about in one of my videos last week. Mainly what we're trying to see is we are trying to see the spectacle that's going to be Noche. We want to see these fights, but what else is going to be there, Dana, that you done spent like almost $17 million getting all of this together? So, that's that. Let's talk real quick about just a couple of fights that went down over the weekend at the UFC Apex, where we had Sean Brady go out there, and it was a good back and forth fight, but pretty much put on a clinic and defeat Gilbert Burns. And at this point, he made a call out to Ian Gary, who is now going to be ranked under him, and they have the same manager. If I was Ian Gary, I would not take that fight. I would not. I don't care what anybody tells you. I don't care if you're giving flowers to your wife outside the window, looking all silly. Bro, do not take that fight with Sean Brady, because he will work you. We will see where Sean Brady goes from here. I feel like Bilal was a little bit complimentary of Sean Brady's win, so there might be something. Maybe Bilal might try to sidestep Shavkat. He shouldn't, but for his sake, he might and step in there with Brady to get a rematch. But we'll see. I also wanted to talk about Jessica Andrade goes out there in the fight of the night, takes an L to Natalia Silva. Natalia Silva has the goods. And I saw so many people in MMA media that can't let go of the past that were picking Jessica Andrade, and I never understood it. It's that Natty Ice era, and y'all got to get with it. Other thing I wanted to mention, Steve Garcia goes out there, gets a controversial win over Kyle Nelson due to back of the head elbow, and possibly a couple other strikes. Regardless, dude, I feel bad. I picked Kyle Nelson, but Steve Garcia, I mean, either way, dude, I really think he's a good dude. He can't help how, the punches might land in the type of scramble they were involved in. Also, Matt Schnell has laid down the gloves in the octagon after a horrible loss to Cody Durden, who goes out there and submits him on 4 days' notice. Shout out to Cody Durden, goes out there and does his thing. There were some pretty, some other fights that were fairly good, but I just wanted to highlight those. Nevertheless, guys, this is it. UFC Noche goes down this Saturday, UFC 306. We're going to get to see the spectacle of the spear because Lord knows most of us will never be able to afford tickets to an event. So it's going to be interesting to see. Please like, subscribe, comment. Let me know your picks for UFC Noche. And I do want to thank you for joining me for another episode of Matter of Fact MMA. And I'll check you next time. Peace.